Okay, let's see if this one looks good, if we can make it look good. It's quite small, so it's going to be a big one, big enlargement for this. So we're going to go 400 with this. This is quite a no-brainer when it comes to size. Probably needs even more enlargement, so let's see how we go with it. So we're just going to go here. Oh, it didn't beep. That's strange, but then a lot of strange things happen to me with these silly fucking machines. So let's see how we go. Right. I wonder if the black is just going to... Oh no, we're going to make it black, go all the way. All right, let's see what our original is. Our original is this. This was cut out of a Chinese real estate paper, and I'm just interested in that. So that nice foliage that someone with a computer obviously created, a graphic designer. So let's see how that goes. Just a little bit of extra oomph for advertising. Always graphics. Seems that creative arts or art is now not considered a thing of itself. It has to be connected with making money or advertising. So you can only, it seems that the only way an artist can make money in most cases is if they work in an ad agency and use their skills to make money for the rich, which does piss me off, because art is supposed... a lot of people underestimate, especially rich people, underestimate the power of visual art for art's sake, you know, because for creative reasons, to express oneself, to maybe inspire other people with their work. But it seems now that the only way you can get away with being creative is if you work in an ad agency, if you do it as a job or as a to do with advertising. It has to be connected with money. Otherwise, it's just art. It's not anything useful. And that is quite an insult, because not everyone is cut out to be an advertising graphic person. I'm not able to do that. I can't work, even though I'm a talented photocopier artist, I don't have the ability to work in an actual ad agency. I can't work in any job because I've got disabilities. There's always something in a job, in a normal job, that prevents me from being able to do it. So I have to work in a sheltered workshop if I want to work, because that's the only way I can turn over a living. And it's not the greatest thing on earth, but for me it's better than working in a job that just has too much pressure and too many expectations that I can't, as a person with a disability, be able to, how should I put it, to make. I can't do deadlines very well. I just, it's not an easy thing to do. I'm wondering if we're going to just throw this on the recycle pile, and we're going to try and work out how we're going to get this to the edge, this part. But basically I just don't have the amount of... I just get stressed easily. That's one thing I have problems with. It's just like every job has a part that I just can't do. There's always a part that aptitude-wise, disability-wise, I just can't do. It's a real pain in the ass, because I'm a very smart person. I've only just got brain damage in parts of the brain. It's not like the whole brain is involved. It's only just certain areas that especially occur with learning, like the hippocampus and the short-term memory. And the hippocampus is the part of the brain that converts the short-term memories into long-term memories. So it's very hard working finding a job that caters for this kind of disability. And it's just a problem, I'd like to be able to use my creativity here as a job if I could, but I know I can't. There's no demand for it. And I'm just not into advertising. Advertising is just so lame. It's just so lame the way people just do everything for money. Everything's about money these days, in many ways, even though I can see through that and I can see the problems that a money-loving society creates, well, I sort of feel left behind. I sort of don't feel like I actually belong, not even in the world of art, as in fine art, and that's another word for art for its own sake, is fine art. I don't even feel like I belong in the art world. So how much more would I not belong in a world where it's fast-paced and everything's about money? I just can't adapt. I just don't fit. I just don't have the ability to work for money. Only in a sheltered workshop where I'm looked after quite well. I get on well with my workplace, which is really nice. They don't put too much pressure on me. But if I tried to work in an ad agency, forget it. The pressure is just too high. I can't tolerate the high pressures of open employment. And even though it took a while for me to accept that I can't work, as say, my dream job anyway is to be a photocopier technician. That was my dream job. But basically, I couldn't do it. And I really wish I could, I really wish I didn't have to accept my disabilities. They really don't make up the whole person that I am. And something's totally fucked. What have I done here? Looks like I got the horizontal looking good, but the vertical just went crap. I don't know what happened to the vertical. I've accidentally pressed 40. I fat-fingered it. Sorry, folks. Bit silly. So we're just going to call it 100 and... I'm going to call it 140. But basically I just can't work in the open employment, however much I resisted for a long time working in a disabled place. I didn't think I was disabled enough. It just took years to realise that that was not the case. But basically that there'll be a technology that I'm looking forward to where quantum computers can be used to repair the damaged pieces of my brain, which will result in me becoming fully functional. And my goal is to become a CEO of a photocopier company of the future, and basically to become a scientist. I want to be able to solve heaps of scientific problems, as well as make a photocopier that's second to none. The best photocopier on earth. That'd be my true dream job if I could have it. I know the photocopier industry, even if I had the technology now to fix the brain, because the companies are all about making money once again, and because they don't accept new ideas of how to make a better photocopier, well, basically I'd still not be able to work there. I wouldn't be able to work in a place like that because they wouldn't let me. There's a lot of people out there who I reckon would make a better CEO for Konica Minolta than the current CEO, whose name is Shoei Yamana. So remember the name Shoei Yamana. So when you feel dissatisfied with the design of your photocopier, just remember that fucking name. Shoei Yamana. That's his name. And he is a bullshit artist because he just loves money. And he's the one I've been going on about and I've been referring to as the CEO in Japan. But basically I didn't know his name. But now I know his name. I can now name him and shame him. Because all he cares about is money. Konica Minolta often talk about, giving money away, but they don't give enough. And that just really bothers me because the thing is, people might get seduced into thinking that Konica Minolta is really good for social responsibility because they give a little bit. They might give, say, I don't know how much they would give as a company, what percentage, but it's much less than the 10% that I believe is the right amount. 10% is the minimum amount that a huge corporation or that any person must give especially something as big as Konica Minolta, but they don't. I still see world poverty. I still see poverty here in Australia. Poverty everywhere, both third world and first world countries. Now I've got this looks shit. We're going to go with this. But basically I see it in both third world and first world countries. It's not just in the poorest places, it's in our backyard as well. So you can't escape it, it's there. The problem is there. You can't, there's just no way of escaping it. And basically, if Konica Minolta really cared, like David Cook, our managing director of Konica Minolta in Australia, he talks about being concerned about where the shirts, the technicians' shirts come from, whether it's a sweatshop or some place where they underpay their workers. But the thing that really pisses me is that he doesn't think of this thing, where it comes from and what sort of treatment the workers get. But of course, how would I know? A photocopier factory is a hush-hush closed environment. I'll never know what goes on inside there. Now, we've got to make this a bit better than that, because this is the good one. I don't know how I've made that one. Oh, I know why. I've got to make it a bit smaller. So hard. Sorry, folks. The verticals, I made the vertical too big. I thought the horizontal was what I had to do. Sorry, folks. The vertical's got to go back. I don't know how big it's going to be. I've forgotten it, so I'm just going to try and intuitively take a punt. So we're going 150. We want to get back to that. But basically, yeah, I just have my doubts about how the people in the factory itself get paid, because most of it's made in China and Vietnam, and yeah, I did learn looking at the back of the machine that Japan also makes part of it. I don't know which part, but anyway, it looks like we've found our way. But basically, I have no faith in the company of Konica Minolta, so they talk about worrying about where the shirts come from, but they don't think about this. And also, this photocopier, incidentally, will only have 5 years worth of spare parts guaranteed by the company, Konica Minolta. So the fact that the machine lasts only 5 years, its serviceable life, means that this is not good for the planet. You know, we're making more things, we're blowing more CO2 into the atmosphere by all this extra manufacturing and mining and shit like that. I don't think they use recycled materials. They just rip the shit out of the ground and use new materials like steel and aluminium, whatever they use. I don't think they'd use recycled stuff. It would probably cost more to recycle this machine than it is to dump it. But I can't say if it actually gets dumped. I don't know. The industry is full of hush-hush. I can't learn. But there was an article I read, dated somewhere, I think it was 2015, I think it was May 2015, which said that only 10% or less than 10% or something roughly amount of electronic waste is recycled every year. Only 10%. So I have my doubts that this is going to be recycled. Doesn't even look like it's easy to recycle. Pulling apart a photocopier, sorry, I have to press that again, to recycle is a bloody nightmare. I'm sure it is. Logic tells me is that it's hard to pull one of these shitters apart. Apparently, when you try, like, there was an e-waste recycler I visited recently, and you had to pay, if you wanted to recycle one of these, you had to pay $25 because it required specialists to do it. So, same goes with cathode ray TVs. Now, this curling is fucked. I'm not going to make this look good, folks. But basically, photocopiers of the future have got to not just be more intelligent. Now, this is horrible, guys. So they've got to be more intelligent, and they've got to basically be made to last 60 years. So you only have to pull a machine apart 60 years down the track. So that gives the materials a lot more time in use, and you don't have to keep mining or having to dismantle. 60 years is a long time for a machine to be serviceable. I'm sorry I can't bring you a really nice image for you folks, which is why I demo. But I don't just demo for that. I want to talk about important things and look at this, sorry folks. But basically, I really want to see machines last 60 years, and the money I make out of these machines is going to go towards fixing climate change and global warming. It's got to go to picking plastic out of the ocean and somehow safely disposing of it. We got to harness the power of lightning for another renewable energy source. And we got to give money and to give people a fair go. We got to try and get as close to possible to ending poverty. So basically, I want to make a lot of money, but it's not going to be, most of it's not going to be for me. Greed is good, says Get Gordon Gekko on Wall Street, the movie. But basically, I have no faith in what's his name, Shoei Yamana. I have no faith in him. Scrub him out. He's just an asshole. So basically, we've got to change things. We've got to change the way we do things. And it sounds like almost like I'm echoing the words "change the way we do business," which is indeed a Konica Minolta slogan, and that's an empty slogan to me. Or giving shape to ideas is, I think, the more later is the general Konica Minolta slogan. So I don't like these empty slogans. Action is what we need, but I can't do anything at the moment. Even if I didn't have the brain damage, there's no way I could take over Konica Minolta. I'll be getting married to my future husband Luigi, and he and I will find a way to re-enter the industry and to get straight to the top and to have all the say in how the company is run and how the cash is dillied out. We've got to really change things because our planet is dying and people are dying. So it's not fucking fair that the rich get to rule us. And there's so much we can do for this planet that could make this planet a happy place, a comfortable and safe and environmentally pleasant place to be. More trees and clean oceans and clean waterways. Fuck, I dream of this shit. But there's nothing I can fucking do. I'm just another fucking disabled person who can't do a fucking thing. But one day I'll fucking do it. And I'll make the fucking best of it. Once technology saves me and my future husband Luigi will help me, I'm going to be the best photocopier company CEO that man has ever seen. I'm going to build the best fucking photocopier that ever in the fucking human race, in the history of the fucking human race. So there you go. I think we'll call that one quits. Gotta go.